You are now locked in to the Sitting Down with the Sisters podcast.
Hi guys! Welcome back to the Sitting Down with the Sisters podcast. I've been realising the last, 2 episodes, we haven't been doing our intro.
No way.
We didn't do it when we had them. We didn't do it.
We did it like midway, no?
No, we didn't do it at all. Anyway, guys, it's sorry for acting like you already all know us because that's not respectful. We should always introduce us. We shouldn't ask you, how are you? Do you get?
It's Temi's fault.
Anyways, I'm Ayo.
I'm Temi.
And I'm Ashley.
Yeah, welcome back to the Sitting Down with the Sisters
and
podcast. We got Benga in the background, you know,
munching,
Mr. Soapbox, our papa, our baby boy.
Our tonton. Wonga.
Just a bit of housekeeping. If you're looking for an event this summer to shake your leg,
it's summer night
we've
starting.
got a beautiful company called the Label London. They will be doing their second ever event at Peckham Skylights. Details in the description box.
Just to reiterate,
do you want to give us some
Peckham
more
Skylight.
Tem? Any more information on the events?
Nope.
This is the time.
Nope.
Right. Well, it's called Summer Skylights. It's gonna be, the sisters will be there. Some other people you know might be there. It's gonna be a wonderful time.
What other people that
21
you know
plus
that you've seen on our
tickets
pod
are
before.
out now on Eventbrite. Link in the description box. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Bop, bop, bop.
Anyways, guys, how are we? How are we all? How are we doing?
Amazing!
Oh yeah, this one still got her birthday hairstyle on. You want to tell them about it?
Yeah, let me say something right now, yeah? It was my birthday last week. I had a good time.
What did you do?
I had a great time. On my actual birthday, thank you. On my actual birthday, I went out to eat. And then I went to a jazz club restaurant. That was really good. Wow. And then on Saturday, on Saturday, we had the party classy.
You're funny.
Do you know what I realised? Actually, no, stop cheering right now. We didn't take a picture, all three of us together.
True, but we always forget. We always do that.
No, but you know my past 2 birthdays.
Yeah, we did it. But I'm saying more times we forget.
Livid.
I didn't forget because I kept saying we need to take more pictures and no one listened to me.
No, didn't I also? Then Ashley told us it was time up.
Yeah, it was you. So I don't know why you say stop cheering because I'm going to cheer.
Okay.
That's really sad for
That's
me,
her
to
fault
be honest.
because I definitely remembered.
She was busy that day.
But she was busy.
And if you see
I was tending to the guests.
You also know that her outfit was busy.
She was
her hair
attending to the
busy,
guests,
everything
to be fair.
busy. Do you want to tell us where your outfit was from? Do you want to tell
That
us your hair? Who did your hair?
slit
Look at the
skirt.
beautiful hair. Give them side profile.
Come on.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
It's the Pan 360
It's the stiff the head for me. You're doing well,
I
babes.
love you guys so
You're
much.
doing well. You're doing well.
Give
Give us the deets. Screaming. Someone's hungry.
Sorry, I'm starving. Marvin.
You got food, babes.
I know.
She not like
So
it.
the top was House of CB, the skirt Polly,
Wow, morning girl.
and then the hair was Renstuch.
Renstuch.
Amazing.
Now, honestly,
Renstuch.
when we saw Ashley on Saturday, blown away.
No, can I just give these two a shout out?
No.
Okay.
I want to shout out.
Oh, sorry.
No, I need to say this because every year, the way these two show up for me, every single year, all the years that I've known them, from when they were at uni and then they travelled back down to London to celebrate my birthday with me,
yes.
to now being back in London together and even if it's dedicating their whole day to just making sure that, I enjoy that, I'm good. Genuinely, these two.
What can we say?
For the newcomers, the new listeners, the new watchers, we're not just podcast friends. No. This is a sisterhood.
We were sisters before. Yes.
And sisters afterwards.
Yes. Because who knows how long
Guys,
we're going
Ashley's
to be here
French,
for.
but
Yeah, she is. Welsh is Congolese, which means she's French.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Francophone country.
What?
You said
Francophone.
We come from
She's right.
Anglophone. She come from Francophone. Yes. The dirty Europe colonized our country. Yes.
The dirty Europe.
We thrive. Oh my days. Sorry.
What happened?
It made me think of the thing that was trending yesterday. So
What happened?
basically, there was this guy that just came from Nigeria not too long ago.
I saw my brother put that in
And
the group chat.
What was
He
it?
was basically, he went on BBC
one
News.
traitor, listen,
He
listen.
basically came to now say, oh, all these people saying they're coming here to study, they don't actually want to study. They're just using it as their way to escape Nigeria.
Basically, he's gone and told the
Exposed our business to the
as to
public.
how people migrate from Nigeria
Nige.
and other parts of.
Because a lot of people take the visa route, like the
Well,
student
why did he
visa
do
route.
that?
But like, they're still going to uni when they get here. It's not that they're not going.
Yeah.
He's basically closing the door behind him, and
yeah.
apparently he's not been here for up to a year.
He hasn't been here for up to a year.
So in other words, he's trying to go back home.
And no,
he's
it's
not
not, do you
careful.
know, he's
That's what it
just
sounds
making it
like.
harder for his fellow Nigerians and other Africans.
I wonder why
to
he
come.
did that. Like, what in your thoughts would think that's okay to do?
Do you know what I think it is? Because another thing I saw yesterday was that there was this whole trend. Apparently, Nigerians in Nigeria were like tweeting and stuff, and they were basically saying how they've noticed that there's a difference between the Nigerians and the diaspora. The ones that go to the US and Canada, they tend to get there and just keep quiet and make their money, whilst the ones that come to the UK start YouTube channel as soon as they land. They go to buy one shirt.
Not as soon as they land.
They tell you, oh, this is how you get to the UK. This is how you jackpot.
Jackpot, that's the
meaning
word.
to
Jackpot
leave.
means like escape, like leave.
Oh, right, okay.
Just leave it.
And there's a very big Japa like
community.
community.
It's a huge thing in Nigeria. Every time you go to Nigeria, the youth especially, they want to
leave.
and they want to leave,
Yeah.
whether it be to the UK or Canada.
Yes.
Everyone's just trying to cut basically.
And it's
wow.
very popular right now. Like there's a lot of people trying to leave Nigeria at the moment.
yeah, lots of migration.
So obviously
What did
this
what did
guy-
you lot? Did your parents see that?
No,
Did you show it to them?
So
I'm really intrigued to see. Like,
it's not
what
on
the
their
older
side of the internet.
Yeah, my
Okay.
brother did put it in our family group chat for my parents to see, but we haven't actually had a discussion. Like they've probably seen the video, but I'm sure we'll talk about it one day. But I just don't know their opinions on it.
Because I'd
And
love to hear like the older
I can
generation's
imagine
opinion regarding
yeah,
it.
I can imagine my mum and my dad would think more like this person's being a traitor, and they're just like, what's the need for that? Because at the end of the day, the UK is one of the hardest country to migrate into anyway. They've made it complicated for a lot of
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
for
especially
obvious
from
reasons.
before.
For obvious reasons, if we're being very, very honest, because this country is just overly populated, if we're being completely
100%,
honest, at the
yeah.
same time.
Especially London.
Exactly. So then what is his own little 2 cents that
And he hasn't
he's
even been
adding?
here a year.
And people, I see, I don't see it, but some other argument, some people are trying to say, oh yeah, but him saying that doesn't make a difference because it's not as if they don't already know. No one's saying they don't already know what Nigerians or whatever tricks they're trying to pull up their sleeves.
you don't need to go and
jack about.
confirm it.
But you as a fellow
Yeah. You don't need
person
to give-
that was part of the application,
Jack-
the
yeah.
migration process, why
Yeah.
do you have to hand yourself in and then put everyone else in hot water because you just want to, I don't know, is it a fame? Like what's
I
your
think it
reason?
was, I think he just wanted to get views because now after they flogged him and tore his shirt on the internet, is he not coming to apologize?
I think I saw an apology.
So why
thing.
is he apologize?
He's saying, so he said, guys, I'm really sorry.
Guys,
with his Ankara short sleeve.
He was there saying, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean it. But you're late. But the thing is, you're actually late because now you've already gone on the BBC.
But do you not think that he was doing? Let me see it from
Somebody's
play the
advocate.
flip side.
Yes.
Yeah, not somebody's.
Not the
let me
devil.
see it on the flip side.
Yeah.
Do you not think he was like trying to just innocently? He didn't realize the repercussions of what he was doing.
How can you not?
Impossible.
How can you not? Because maybe the reason why you're saying that is maybe because you haven't seen the video. He was explicitly giving step by step as to what people are doing. He was talking about why the intentions behind it. He talks about why people apply or why they do these things and what they come here to do. It's intentional.
Yeah.
He definitely thought it through. There's no way you can innocently just be speaking, because the topic was around migration and just immigration in the UK and just how overstretched and just how difficult it is right now. And funny enough, this morning as well, on I think it was BBC podcast or something on the TV, I was that was one of the topics, so you could call in. to talk about how difficult immigration has been for you and just anyone that you know that might be struggling with immigration, and why the Home Office are just taking too long to respond to applications and things like that.
Right.
So there's a whole discourse over it at the moment, right? So yeah, so the segment that he came on to do was for that. So he knew what he was doing. I'm sure
what a wasted opportunity.
Right. I'm sure they gave him a lowdown of exactly what he'd be coming on, what subject he's going to be talking about. So he knew exactly what he was doing.
And the saddest part is that most of the time when Nigerians leave Niger to come here to the diaspora, not only the UK, they thrive because the work ethic that they have. Like when you see Nigerians, like we're in every field and we're thriving.
That's one thing I genuinely commend you guys for, your very hard work.
The educational background a lot of us have, the intellect, like it's, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely feel like it's a thing about Nigerians specifically. Now, obviously other cultures have their things, but that's one thing about Nigerians, they thrive anywhere they are. Workers. Wherever they are, they thrive. So it's like, why would you want to, something that you have just experienced and benefited from, why would you want to close the door for your fellow brothers and sisters? I've just never understood it. Why would you want to hinder or make their process harder?
So is he on social media then?
Yeah.
So the backlash he was getting, does he have? So he has an Instagram account. All of that.
Yeah.
And
they
people
were flogging
found
him on Twitter.
Okay.
Right,
yeah.
So
Nigerians will always flog you though. Like do something bad, they're flogging you.
They're not shy to tell you you're
that you're wrong.
You're wrong, and
that
the way
you're
they
being
will say
loud
it as
and
well
wrong.
will be very hurtful. They don't no filter, like they, you know.
No, I
they
hear
go
it
all out. So I think that's what he felt pressurized to make an apology video because no one's accepting your apology.
Because you'll feel like a traitor when you guys know Nigerians are so patriotic. So you're like we to the day we literally lie down flat. Nigerian.
It's all about where you're from, and we just take pride in our country. And it's just unfortunate because with a lot of other African countries, we're facing the same issues with government just not being able to develop the country properly for the youth and the young people there to just develop their careers and just explore the options and the opportunities that the world has for them. That's why they feel like they have to do these things. If the country was good, I'm very sure
no one would leave,
including us that are very established, that we were first gen. We would not probably be here. We'd probably be back home investing in what made us who we are. But it's just unfortunate that that's just the case. And like I said before, the UK has become so overstretched with immigration and just people trying to leave their countries and come over here. The two countries that were spoken about on BBC News this morning was Nigeria and Hong Kong. Yeah, so those two places were definitely like they have the biggest sort of migration from their countries and coming here.
I wouldn't think Hong Kong.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. But they had spokespeople from those two places just to talk about why a lot of people are leaving there.
And what did the spokesperson for Hong Kong say?
It's the same thing as Nigeria. They feel like the opportunities there. A lot of people, the reason why they migrate, different reasons, because they want better education, better opportunity, better family life.
This is separate to when the guy was talking about Nigeria.
This was this morning. Better family life and and just a lot of people have relatives here. They just want to migrate. Like the countries that they live in are just not giving them that option.
And it's not, like, let's be very honest, like, especially, I don't know what it is for every other African country, but like, for instance, let's shine a good light on Niger. For instance, Hilda Bassi recently just broke, I believe she's going through the evidence process now, but she cooked for like 40 hours. No. Nearly 100 hours, 100 hours, so that she could beat the current Guinness World Record for the longest time cooking. I saw that, and the way Nigerians got behind her, and supported her, and like the way that now she's got all these sponsorships and stuff like that only happens very like once in a million for a lot of Nigerians. And like there's so much young people in Nigeria that really, really want to have the chance to like thrive and have a good life.
When the opportunity is given,
and they will always
in the environment that encourages
they'll take
We're
it.
always together.
They will support each other.
But unfortunately, the environment that they live in just doesn't give them that opportunity.
They're not giving it.
That was a very good example of like Nigerians all just coming together and just supporting each other.
I love that for her.
Yeah, she's getting all these
nearly 100 hours.
Yeah,
was it 4 days or?
4 days. 4 days. It was beautiful, and she wasn't just cooking. Like it was so funny because people were like, if it was me, I'll be cooking sandwich, then you'll be doing tomato 5 ways. Sis was doing Nigerian soups, jollof rice, yam.
That's a feast. I know whoever was eating that food
it was
afterwards.
so good. Like it was slapping.
I'm sure.
Wow, 4 days straight.
4 days straight. She didn't like. You get breaks, like you get 10 minutes for every hour or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, and she was on her period through the whole thing.
No.
Was she?
Yeah,
Okay. No
she was having
way.
cramps. She said. I said, my goodness, you know me, it's impossible.
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
Sorry, there's no way.
Madness. But shout out to Hilda Bassi.
She done her thing.
She done her thing. Anything else been on you guys' radar?
Oh my days, I'm sorry, I need to bring this up. I don't know if you lot have seen it. It's only because my sister showed it to me. I poich, so I'm gonna poich now.
Yeah, you go poich.
So there's a TikToker
I'm scared.
called Mizzy. Obviously I'm not on TikTok, so a lot of the things when people speak about, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But my sister showed it to me. So this TikToker, just for like background reference, so context,
So
sorry.
did you see him on Piers Morgan?
Wait there. So this TikToker, he randomly goes into people's houses. Like that's his prank. Like he goes to people's houses and scares them.
That's one of them.
Oh, that's one of them. Outside of that, like he's a nuisance on the roads.
Yeah,
basically.
menace to
like,
society.
A real life
That's
menace.
what you call a menace.
Menace.
She get him on the pod.
So I think why imagine why he got arrested was, I think what happened? Like I think
Basically the actual reason for the arrest was because not just one thing, but one of the things is because he went into someone's house unprovoked. Literally the door was open and him and his friends invited themselves in, and there was a kid in the house. They recorded themselves. The second one, he stole a dog.
Yes, he stole a dog from an old woman who was sitting in a park.
Like he genuinely put the dog looked so confused and he was running and the dog was
and then
looking
he
at
also
him.
did the "Do you want to die" prank.
Yeah, to a woman.
So and he said
knows.
"die" as in DYE, but then he said it was, obviously you're gonna think it's "die" like DIE. Then he came back to the man and said, "Oh no, it's a prank." And then the man was obviously frustrated and annoyed at what had happened. And then how can that guy say, "Oh, but I can make it real life if you want." I said Jesus is Lord and Savior.
So I think he just recently turned 18. He has a child as well.
Oh, does he?
Has a
I
child.
didn't know that.
He has a child that he could be taken care of. But do you know what it is? It all goes round to the topic of like, just trying to do things like, how far will people go for fame?
Yes.
I think that's
basically what I was
that's
them
what the
for
question
clicks.
is.
and then
How
obviously
far?
I saw him on Piers Morgan.
Yeah,
So he was on
I
Piers
haven't watched
Morgan
it yet.
yesterday or something.
He had an interview, and obviously Piers was like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? What do you think you're bringing to?" They will go, and you know Piers Morgan already. Like Piers Morgan,
He was saying it to his face.
He doesn't have anyone's time. Like if he doesn't like what you're doing, he's gonna tell you like that you're
Not
a
that
nonce.
he's not that he's always in the right, by the way,
Right,
Piers
but you know,
Morgan,
he's gonna let
he'll be
you know
honest.
that you are full of crap.
But that
And
Missy
so-
guy did not let out either. He was giving it
I'm
back.
happy.
No, but you know,
Sometimes
it was.
you need
I'm
to.
so sorry, but it was actually really embarrassing watching him because obviously he pulled the race card and he was like, "Oh, it's because I'm black. That's why."
I don't
you
think
know,
he
I
needed
got
to do that because that's
attention
not
and I got
true.
arrested.
No. The black community, we're not behind you. We don't support you for saying that because it's not clear. It's
And
clearly
I-
not a race card. You're just a menace.
I just hate
forget
it.
what race you are.
I really
You
dis-
just moving mad.
Yeah, like I really dislike when people weaponize like stuff like racial injustice for things like this. No, the reason why you're being convicted of what you're doing is because you're a menace to society.
You just happen to be black.
like
It's the way he said it.
What
Is
do you mean?
Like, if
you're
you watch it,
trespassing.
if you watch it, yeah, he was even getting frustrated that like Piers was on him. He's like, "Oh my, on live TV, oh my days, oh
But
my
do you know what's
Piers,
interesting?
let me talk, let me finish talking, bro. You're cutting me off, Piers. Oh my days,
Piers Morgan.
You know, I'm watching it now. You even told me that, like, obviously we don't speak about people's kids, but he's a daddy, he's a father.
papa.
And Piers asked him questions about his
Oh,
family.
did he? Yeah,
He said, "What does your mum think of
I
that?"
heard that Piers said something that was a bit racially
You know how
motivated
Piers
there.
is.
He said something about how
You're a
it's
product of
you're a
your
product of your upbringing. And you know what?
In other words, where are your parents?
No, because
That's
I'm
what
not
he
gonna
said
lie. Where are
after.
your parents? A
No,
very
where are-
valid
for
question.
real, because to be honest, a lot of us we
just
could
18.
never be doing such a thing on the internet.
And he just turned 18, so
Yeah.
he only became an adult very recently. So
yeah.
of course they're gonna ask, where are your parents?
Because where are they?
Where,
you are
it's
a
a
child.
very valid question.
And obviously, we don't know his home situation. Like, he could have been moved out his house, so he's not under his like parental
And to
guidance.
be fair, most of that gen, like if we're being honest, they're on the internet. The thing is, they never think that these things are going to catch up with them, and that's the issue with TikTok specifically as a social media platform. People feel like it's it's just a diary. The things that people just upload casually on TikTok.
Like it's the oversharing.
I know where you live. Like
It's
some
the
of you, I actually know. I
oversharing.
could tell you where you live.
I know the inside of your bedroom. I know the color of your duvet.
I know everything that's happened to you up until this point in your life.
It's crazy.
And I don't know how they don't realize that they're just giving the police evidence for things that they're doing. They say, I think it happened to another girl. It was murder. Was it murder that was on TikTok? I can't remember. No, the girl that she stabbed somebody.
I saw that, yeah.
Or
Yes.
something.
And she only got like sentenced recently.
You videoed it and put it on TikTok. Now you get into the question room. How can you say you don't have any words?
No. How can you say not guilty?
Do you get?
You know when I saw that video, that actually made me so
It's
sick.
really disappointing.
How can you say no guilty to something that we can all see? You're very guilty.
Like,
and the Mizzy guy got
You're very guilty.
He got fined £300 or £350,
Only.
and there was a
That's
lot
it.
of outrage just saying it's not enough. Like why?
It's not.
I don't know if the fine is what he needs, because he needs behavioral, like, you know, this is like something he needs to be it's worked on.
Yeah.
Okay, £300, he can now go back and make the
And do it
TikToks again.
So
I'm sorry,
another
but I'm
thing
sure
that
he's making that in.
Another ban they gave him, I don't know how effective or if he's
they
going to
banned him
follow
from
this.
TikTok, innit?
No. I don't think they banned him from TikTok, but they said he can't make videos without people's consent.
So
So
who's
he
gonna
has
do
to
it?
agree. Whoever is in his video has to give consent
Oh.
before.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
making
heard in the
video.
interview with Piers, this is another one that made me laugh. Piers asked him, okay, so, you know, you could tell Piers was so over. He was like, okay, so, like, what's next for you? This one,
Why is Piers giving him free promo, first
before
of
he even
all?
said that, Piers was like, oh, do you want to try and formulate an apology?
He was like, no, I don't need to
He just
apologize.
go, "No, I don't need to
I've
apologize."
apologized to the people that I need to say sorry to. I don't need to apologize.
So then that's where Piers was like, okay, so like, what's next for you? This one then go, what's next for you? Because I think they've banned him on somewhere. Because he then goes on to say, yeah, I'm gonna be on Twitch. Follow me on
yeah,
Twitch,
yeah, yeah.
Mizzy. Follow me on Twitch.
Do you know what it is? I don't want to blame. I don't want to put blame because I don't want to.
My God.
I don't want to limit his issue to just one thing. But one thing I will say is I think you can, because I'm not gonna lie, we were once 18.
Yeah.
So and a lot of us did not act like that. So it's
No.
not. I'm not limiting to the age.
It's not
but
the age.
You can also tell he's young from the way he acts and the way he behaves.
Like, he's
Don't
not-
get it
he's
twisted.
not
He could be
mature.
24, 25 and still act the same. But you can tell the like he's still
Maturity.
very all over the place. Like he doesn't know what he wants to do. Moving
Very
himself.
childish.
Very childish.
No,
you know.
I got second-hand embarrassment from watching
You can see that
interview.
you know when you can tell they're in an environment, unfortunately, where their friends think it's funny.
Yeah.
Because you know
So
it's
you
different
know
where
you
if you're around people that are like, you probably shouldn't do that.
He did admit as well that the going into the house thing was a bit of peer pressure from his friends.
Well, there you go.
Obviously, he said he used to do that back in the days. He stopped doing it, but that one time the door was just open. It was a spur at the moment, and his friends was like,
see,
"Oh,
you know,
let's
there was
just
literally
walk,
someone standing
let's just
on the
walk in the
porch.
door."
Do you know how
in the
scary that
house.
could be for
And then he was just
somebody?
like, "Oh yeah, fine, let's do it," and they just done it.
Yeah, because it's at
And
the
he
moment
said he went back the next day to apologize to the woman.
I'm sorry, but you gave into that peer pressure. It's not your friends that are being convicted. It's now you.
And the thing is like,
I don't
it's
get why the
mad.
friends didn't get convicted as well.
Of
because
course,
they all
no, but
walked
It's
in
his
together.
TikTok, isn't it?
They walked in with him.
Yeah,
though.
of course,
So they've
yeah,
done the
but
crime.
it's his
But I think
TikTok.
because he got convicted for more than one
And
thing,
the other
and
stuff,
he's the one that's
yeah.
been doing the rest of it.
I just think it's crazy because obviously that's like a thing that a lot of people are doing now, pranking. And like obviously pranking has always existed, but I feel like what the craziest part is that pranks used to be pranks before. When a real prank is when you don't actually do what you're saying you're gonna do. Like it's a joke.
Like
But when
you might act like you're close to it,
but
but
you're
you
not
don't
gonna
actually
do it.
the
But you're
action.
actually
That's
entering
what a
people's
prank
house.
is.
You don't
And the
cross the
problem
line.
is the views get to people's head because obviously if you get 1 million views on one
You're gonna
video,
wanna do
you're gonna
it
want to up the
again.
levels. You want to
doing it,
make
keep
it
doing
more
it.
risky. And it's like I was talking about it at work, yeah. And I was like, God, I really, really hope the day never comes when somebody tries to catch me in a type of prank like this on the internet because I don't know how I'm gonna react.
Guys, no, imagine you've left the door open because you want to do something quickly. You want to get something.
You're taking the
done.
bins out. You're preparing.
The Porsche area. The Porsche. And then what happens?
Someone walks. A group of black boys
walk in your house. What's the first thing you
I
would
don't
do?
even want to say it as a group of black boys, just kids. Some boys, they run.
No, the reason why I said group of black boys because they were a group of black
okay.
boys.
I didn't know-
Let's actually imagine ourselves
Yeah.
in that scenario. Fair enough, it could be anyone.
It could be anyone. Yeah.
But
I get what you're
Regardless of who it is, I'm
screaming.
I'm already scared.
I'm
and I'm not. I
screaming
don't know
at
if I'm
the
gonna
top
be.
of my
I don't think I'll
responsible.
follow them in there. I think I'm already in a safe place by standing outside. So
No, but imagine you, because you said that there was a child in there, right? And
Yeah,
someone
they're
else in there.
kids.
Imagine
They're
if
in the
you were
house.
actually in the
And my
house
child's
and
old.
someone you see people
what would for me?
in.
My parents own the house. My siblings. You're now recording me in my house. My house is on the internet.
Do you know? It'll be like, do your prank in it, but just don't post it. Move. Like,
As in, I would delete the video from you.
Like,
you're
come
not
out of my
leaving
house.
this place until that video is gone.
Come, like, for real, come out the house.
Do you know what I think? It's such a
Because
slap
what the hell?
in the face as well. Because obviously they are young black boys, and that could have gone so left because you don't know who's armed, who has weapons in their house. So imagine you just walk in. And not everyone knows when it's a prank. Like people are
most
busy. People are coming from work. Like they're tired. They're not paying attention. Not that they even should pay attention because they should be able to be in their house without thinking someone's gonna walk in to prank.
You know,
What if that person was armed and then you've walked in and then you now think people are going to be protesting for you?
People
because you're
said
doing
if this was
stupid prank.
America, he might not come out alive.
That's
My point exactly.
Yeah, and that is terrifying to even think about.
And then you have the audacity to go on Piers Morgan and say it's because I'm black. No, it's not.
Come on, mate.
We're not supporting you.
Just don't do it again, innit? Like,
and there's been
that's
a lot
what
of
it is.
narratives being spun about it. Like some people are saying he has like special needs or like learning difficult. Like, I'm like, I don't
Why are
like.
people diagnosed?
I don't really understand why you're diagnosing the situation. Like
You don't. You don't know him.
the behavior is what we're talking about here, and the behavior is outright rubbish. So it's just not. There's nothing.
And
to
even if
say.
he does have special needs, it's still wrong because there are people who have special needs
and
that
they're
don't
not
go
doing
to
it.
walk
So
into people's houses.
let's
So
be very frank.
I don't know
and
what you're
let's be
saying.
honest.
Another thing that was trending recently that I've seen, people are talking about comparing male friendships to female friendships. And
This recycles every 2 to 3
And
business
this one
because
was
this
a
one
bit
was a bit
different. The
mad.
reason why it was different was because one of our favorite podcasts.
My literal babe.
Okay, I'm so glad you brought up because
I love you.
I'm so glad
Wherever
you brought
are,
this up.
I love you.
What actually happened?
Oh.
Congratulations.
What happened?
So basically, I was watching the 90s Babies episode this week, just how I usually do.
As you do.
And this is obviously my Twitter, as you all know, has been taken away from me. So anytime that I look on Twitter, I'm looking through the Sitting Down with the Sisters page. So I didn't know about the outrage on Twitter until much later in the day. But I've watched the
today?
episode. No, like on Monday.
Oh, I
They
saw
drop
it
on Monday
yesterday.
or Tuesday, one of the
Yeah.
two. So I'm now just scrolling. No, I'm sorry. I've watched the episode, and on watching the episode without anybody else's opinion, I really felt really sad for Fred because in the episode you can tell that it actually really upset him. Basically,
Really? Speak about it on the episode.
He was actually very upset.
Yeah, like the thing about Fred is out of the three of them, Fred is the most like
Emotional.
unpredictable one.
Okay.
And also you can tell he's very, the way he handles his emotions is different to the other two. Yeah. So when he's frustrated, it's very visible. He wears his emotions on his face, innit? So,
And just to clarify, he spoke about it on the episode.
I'll explain. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give you guys the full backstory.
Okay,
So obviously
yes,
on the
please.
episode, like the first thing they speak about is actually, so he had his stag do. So like his boys were meant to plan his stag do, and he's let them know what he'd like. He wanted to go see football in another country, and then like he could have done anything else. He didn't want to go to the club. He's like, all of us, me and my friends, most of us are married men or in relationships. Like, I don't want to go to the club. He's made this clear, by the way.
Right.
And then unfortunately, I don't believe it was one of the guys on the podcast. So I don't think it was Tem or VP, but one of his, I think it was his cousin or his brother or somebody. They've basically said, he said to the boys that like he'd prefer to watch Paris.
Oh, PSG.
But he's fine with Barcelona,
Okay.
the team.
Right.
So they've kind of like heard that he doesn't really care for Barca, and they've just not included that. And then they've known about the PSG. They've not really communicated well, and he's ended up in a 3-bed, one room, 3-bed bed and breakfast in Bournemouth
France to Bournemouth.
for his stag do. And so what they were
Moment of silence.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, for real, it's tragic actually.
It's so
So
sad.
he said France, and they've taken him to Bournemouth.
And just wait, even. So now the
It gets
guys
worse.
were talking about communication on the pod as well. So obviously, Temi, if you guys watch the podcast, Temi's like, he's a married one with 2 kids. Like
He's got kids?
He's got 2 kids, yeah. He tends to be like the very mature one. Not mature. Like, I guess they all have different
Is he like the
personalities.
dads
but he's
of
quite
the
the dad vibe. Like everybody calls him like uncle. He's very over communicative. He likes to know what's going on. So he's very like, he's been trying to be very communicative with Fred about his wedding. Like, what cufflinks do you want us to wear? This one, that one. And Fred is kind of on a do not disturb vibe because he's kind of tired of all the questions. Yeah. And Kemi was like to him, well, you need to be communicative. It's your wedding. Like, we want to make sure that you're happy. While VP, on the other hand, doesn't even, he's not responding in the group chat.
I saw the group chat where he said, for the fitting.
Yes, like that was someone. I don't know who that was. I don't think that was VP, but
I think okay, maybe it's not VP, but basically it was meant to be the day of the suit fitting.
Okay.
And they were all meant to meet somewhere, and I think Fred must have asked them about availability, like, can you come, is that all good? And then there were 2 people that responded, one saying I can't make it, it's last minute, and the other one was I'm busy picking my nose, I can't come. Sorry, but the reason why you have to laugh at that one, that has to be a joke. That was definitely banter. Imagine one of us getting married and it's time for your dress fitting, and they're like, let's meet here, you're like, I can't come, sorry, I'm picking my nose.
Someone said, oh yeah, no, East to I think it was East to Blue Water, that's long. That's what one of them said.
No, come on.
They're trolling. And then, so obviously,
you're trolling.
So then,
you're troll.
Obviously, it just spiraled into this whole conversation about how men, like, unfortunately,
they're just not good friends.
They're just not good friends to each other, and it's sad to say. It's very sad because
I just think there's too many things to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack,
and that's why. And also, that's when the whole like birthday, like any celebration that you're having, that's where it came into play, and people were like, look, if people don't show up for you on your special day, you need to cut them off.
Yeah, exactly. I've been watching the time. There's a lot to unpack.
My first thing is I'm still not over the France to Bournemouth.
No, and he put a picture of the room.
I saw a picture of that. I didn't know like what the context was. I just thought I saw the picture, the 3 beds right next to each other. I think there was even no space for them to walk between each bed.
Beds.
Terrible.
No, but how do
3
you like
beds, 1 bed head?
Honestly, this is why I genuinely believe
headboard.
like now it makes sense when you're saying the discussion between male friendships and female friendships, because a lot of guys will be like, oh, girls care too much like when it comes to people showing up for their birthdays, but then you have instances like this.
Your stag do, you have
like
one.
this, and
once
then
in a lifetime.
Birthdays, whatever, fair enough. People can argue, birthdays come on every year, blah blah blah. Your wedding is a once in a lifetime thing. By God's grace.
Something that you would have known about for a minute. Like, it's not new to you.
No.
Why would your friends do that to you? You've made the whole wedding process rubbish. And because now when he gets married, of course the day is going to be so special, and I'm praying that the day makes up for all the lackluster of what his friends did.
God willing.
But afterwards, that's where he's gonna deep it even more. He's gonna deep it, and he's gonna be like, wow, like these people did not show up for me at all.
Quick question, Ayo. So when
I'm busy picking my nose.
when he was talking about it on the podcast, and Temi and VP. Whilst they were sitting there, what were their reactions like?
They were trying to defend themselves, innit? Because they were they were trying to say like, no, we tried. Like, so with Temi, I actually don't put any blame on. Like, this is me personally, innit? I don't know the situation. I was not there. I'm not in the GC. But from what I know that Temi will try as best as he can to be as part of a plan, like, and make it happen if he can.
Right.
I think what happened in this scenario was that the person that was meant to be the main head planner fumbled the bag, and so that meant the rest of the boys just went with whatever was said last minute, which is unfortunate, because even if you're not the best man, you should still advocate for your friend and say, no, but this is their stag do, like, still go above and beyond.
Especially when you see that things aren't right, like, you wouldn't want that for yours. Like, just that one time, we know it's not an easy job, especially when people pick you to be part of their bridal train.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's just I just think it's so unfortunate.
So can I ask then, in the episode where you said, he was evidently frustrated, what did he say where they felt like they had to defend themselves? Like, what was he basically saying on the podcast?
No, he's probably expressing like
he was actually just like, how did we end up in Bournemouth? Like he didn't get it. Like,
no, I don't get it.
When I'm listening to it, I was also confused. I was just like, how did we end up in Bournemouth? And the thing is, as well, that made it sad was that there was a football game in Bournemouth the time that they were there, and he was also frustrated again because Bail of the Man had to leave early the next day. So they didn't even go to the football match, nothing.
Oh, no.
So like literally it just fumble,
basically.
Fumble, everything fumble. And then they brought up each, so obviously Tem's married and VP's also engaged, so they brought up Tem's stag do. Tem didn't have a stag do like that, but they ended up going to Amsterdam and having a really good time. And then VP was like, oh, if I ever had one like Tem, then I'd be happy. But
No,
like,
that's where I would be.
do you know what I mean? But
to be
it's like,
fair, VP's engaged, so he hasn't had like a stag do yet. So I wonder what his would be like.
No, I'm sorry, that would piss me off.
no, I'd be very, and the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone that takes birthdays really seriously. Like in terms of, and it's not about necessarily what I'm doing, but more like people making it special for your, like making you feel special for your birthday.
Right.
Because I feel like it's one day.
It's one
do you know what I mean?
day.
It's one time of the year. You literally don't need to even, no one's telling you to break the bank. No, everybody's just saying, be thoughtful.
Be there.
They basically made him feel like they didn't want to be there. Like it was almost like a hassle, a burden to kind of show up for him.
It's so sad.
Bournemouth.
It's really sad. I can't lie. It's sad.
Not even that, but it was a hassle for you to show up at Blue Water to get your suit fitted. And okay, then go there with your suit finishing at your elbow.
It also sparked another...
ankle swingers because you didn't go to get measured.
Yeah, no.
It also sparked another debate where people were saying, when it comes to weddings and just special occasions, but specifically weddings, people are basically saying you are allowed to say no. Like if someone does ask to be part of your wedding, like
that's a great point.
If you feel like you can't afford it financially, because it can be a bit straining financially.
If you know you're not thoughtful,
if you're not.
Like genuinely,
it's not. Do you know what it is? A lot of people put it down to finances, and I get that.
Yeah,
but a lot of time it's more than that. It's not finances. It's because you know that you genuinely don't want you're not capable of being there for that person the way they need you to be. They need you
to be because it's their special day.
You're selfish.
You need to be there how they want you to be.
If you know you're not willing to like give up like your conveniences and your comfortabilities for somebody,
or be selfless,
and it's for a very short period of time. How long are you planning a wedding? Especially boys. Let's be fair. The bridesmaids are probably doing more than you. Let's be very fair.
100. I'm sure.
Do you know what I mean?
We don't play with that.
All they want you to do is make sure your suit is nice. They want to make sure that you got a good stag do, and then all the like maybe logistic stuff maybe you can help with, buying drink.
That's why I saw that the one tweet that I did see regarding this and I didn't understand was when that I actually agree with, where the girl was like, that's why as women we can be so, what's the word?
Upset.
Like we can be vigilant when it comes to our men's friends, and upset because we're the ones having to pick up the pieces and go above and beyond for our man, because your friends are rubbish.
Your friends are not doing their job.
Do you think you guys, if this was your man, you know, Jenny, I've got a question actually.
I'd be so
I know what you're gonna ask.
Girl, do you think you'd be vexed if
Let me tell you something. Let me sit up here so you lot can hear me properly.
Annoyed if that was me. If I was the bride, I'd be so annoyed. I'd be annoyed at all of them. On the wedding day, don't chat to me.
On the wedding day, when I've heard that you've taken my man to Bournemouth, I'm calling you lot one by one. Oh, come round, like, you know, I have a surprise for you lot. Like, I have a gift for you, like the groomsmen. I'm sitting you down one by one.
You're gonna hear
what
it.
the hell happened?
You're gonna hear it.
What happened?
What
You're
did you
hearing
do?
Why was my man in Bournemouth?
Do you hate him? Just say
Look
it now.
at his face right now. Is this a man that is happy?
Is this a man that should be going to Bournemouth?
This is somebody you guys carry on your
guys, I'm
shoulder
so
as your
sorry.
friend.
There's finances cannot be an excuse for this one, because I'm trying to wrap my head around Bournemouth. Eurostar train to Paris, when you plan in time, it's under £100.
You're fine.
There and back.
You're fine.
So
and they're all 30 plus.
Tell me.
Or like 28 plus.
Under £100 for there and back. Eurostar. You don't have to pay for luggage. You can bring however many suitcases you need to bring.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for that. So
it's down the road.
Now I'd be vexed.
Bournemouth.
Why was my man in Bournemouth?
So wait, I have to plan his stag do too. Is that what I'll be? That's what I'll say.
I'll sit him down. I'll sit my man down as well. Like, you need to reevaluate your friends. Sorry, because I don't understand what kind of friends you're carrying.
It's so interesting because then people also said like they were also like, so that's why it's not about your best friends being in your bridal train, and it's so interesting because some people say like your best friends might not actually be the most organized or thoughtful or people that you can run to when your marriage is breaking down. Because I personally think your bridal train should be made up of people that you could run to them
absolutely
when you're married, or when you're going through something, and they are actually reliable. Or like, say for instance, now you have
friendship
kids. That's interesting because then people also said people act like you shouldn't have expectations in friendship.
Yeah,
you should.
because that's what ties us together. Because why do I call you my friend and why are you not an acquaintance? There's a reason. There's a difference. So if I can't go to you in certain times of needs, why are we friends? I'm so sorry.
Why am I calling you one of my closest friends?
Yes, that argument of maybe like the people in your wedding on your bridal train, they don't necessarily. Yes, they do have to be your friends. Those are the people
it might not be who you think is your best friend should be your maid of honor or your best man.
Fair enough. But in terms of the bigger picture,
they should
your friends should be the ones
100%.
there supporting you in the front line.
Sad.
Your friends, your family. So I just don't.
What I'm so intrigued. Like, what else did he say?
Because if my girls aren't going to be my bridesmaids, who's going to be my bridesmaids? Exactly.
No, it's true. Because for me,
I just won't have them.
I carry my friends on my head. Like when it comes to their birthdays, like I don't even want them to carry anything. I don't want them to think about anything.
I just don't want them to stress. So even the whole,
you need to feel like a princess on your birthday.
And also, imagine now the wedding day.
Even the stag do and everything. I'm sorry, I'm involved in everything. Don't do no surprise. Like we'll either plan it together or
let me know.
Like, I'm that kind of person. I hate putting a burden on people.
Oh, you mean for yourself?
For myself, yes, absolutely.
I hear it. Because look at this. You'll be saying, oh, I want to go to Spain, and then you end up, I don't know, Brighton, and they say, oh, because there's a sea there. We thought it's the closest thing to Spain.
I just don't understand. I really don't get it. And what is sad is like this is really what is sad. Is that this has really tainted his wedding week, because obviously they dropped the episode on Monday and he's getting married on Saturday. And obviously today's Thursday, so I just hope he has. And people have literally been talking about it since. They haven't stopped talking about it on Twitter.
I just know certain friendships are definitely not going to be the same after once the wedding is said and done. And I feel
like, to be honest, I don't really like how they're putting all of it on the boys on the pod, like VP and Temi, because as much as yes, they should have done something.
Like he has more friends,
but they're his only two visible ones. The rest, do you get the rest?
So they're getting a lot of the
flack, and knowing what I believe. Obviously, I don't know them in real life, but knowing what Temi is like. I just don't. I know it probably didn't sit well with him, but he's a married man with 2 kids as well. Do you know, and he's trying. So it's just, I just feel like it's very hard. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, but I just feel like if you want to do something, do it well.
Don't do things half-heartedly.
Do it well.
So what did they do in Bournemouth? Sorry,
I don't know.
I really want to know, because you didn't take into consideration any of his requests. So what did you do there?
They stayed a night. I don't remember them going into much detail.
So in other words, they probably got there around after checking 3, 4, 5. They wasn't even there for a whole 24 hours. Because some people had to leave early the next morning.
Maybe they brought their game console, played games, and went home.
I remember one thing they said. They went.
They brought the PS4.
They said that one of the highlights of it though was they raced each other on the beach, and that's the thing. He was really happy about that. But that's it. That's one of the only highlights I remember.
Do you know what? I hope his wedding goes really well.
I pray so too. I'm looking forward to the pic. Well, hopefully he shares them with us.
A good time, and I hope the bride will be side eyeing those groomsmen.
Especially that one that said he's picking his nose.
Also, I don't know, because obviously you guys might not know who his girl is, but I've seen her page, and her bridal what's it called? What girls one?
Bridal shower.
Her bridal. No, what's it called?
Oh, hen night. Oh, that's it. Sorry, Hendu.
Hers was they took her abroad. She was on a yacht.
Well, on a yacht.
Imagine you're dancing on a yacht.
Hers was a couple,
and your man is in Bournemouth.
Yeah, hers was a couple weeks ago. It looked so good.
And do you see the difference of why women go above and beyond
everything?
Because you might look at it and think, women are being extra, it's just that, but look at the difference.
And no, genuinely, I also understand why people get upset when people don't show up for their birthday.
No, I get it. And that's my point. That's my point, exactly.
Because people make it sound dramatic, but I'm like, no, it's actually not.
A lot of people shared stories as well about birthdays where people haven't turned up for their birthday. Like they've planned, they've cooked, they've just organised the whole thing.
Someone said nobody came. I saw someone who said that nobody came
her
to
18th birthday or something.
My sister's friend had a party. Barely anyone showed up for his party.
Well, I wonder why though. Is it because they don't actually have friends, or is it because? Well, no, I don't mean it in that way. I mean, when I say when they don't have friends, I mean, are they inviting people that are not their friends? Like, who are you actually inviting?
What's the guest list?
Because because no one's showing up.
What I genuinely think happens in those type of situations is all the people you've invited have not seen it as a priority to make it.
That's why I'm questioning the relationship they have with them.
But that's the thing, they'll tell you that they're your friend.
Because even if you're busy, your friend's having a birthday party, you have to prioritize that. It's a birthday party. How do you not go? And men think we're so
it's free.
And men think we're so dramatic. Like, well, okay, so what do you guys think about women that invite people to their birthday parties? They don't turn up and they cut the friendship up completely. What do you think of that?
I think it depends.
Stop talking to them for ages.
I think it depends. I think I think to cut someone off without having that communication, obviously you could flip it around and be like, well, you know, they didn't let me know they wasn't coming, so blah, blah, blah.
So, you know, sometimes there's no explanation. Like, you know why we're not talking. You didn't come to my birthday.
No, but to cut someone off as in, you're no longer in my life, you don't have access to me, you don't have contact with me anymore. That's it.
I could stop talking to you for a bit.
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying to cut someone off.
No, I'm not saying completely permanently.
No, but there are some people they cut off permanently. They say
you will get a
you
bit
didn't come to my birthday, so you're out of my life. That's it. You haven't made the cut.
Yeah, that's never happened to me. But I think if it did, I with no explanation, nothing, I could stop speaking to you for a little while.
You.
Or you get a bit of cold shoulder from me.
I actually want to make it.
All I'm saying is it's not going to be buddy. I'm not going to pretend nothing hasn't happened.
Yeah. I actually want to make it small personal, yeah, because last year something happened, yeah, around Temi's birthday. I don't know if we're going to keep it in it, but you guys, Temi can decide. It's her story.
Oh, but you guys are involved in it.
Basically, this wasn't Temi, because if it was something Temi planned,
you know, I was trying to think. What is this?
You know what? You know exactly what it is.
I know what it is.
If it was something Temi had planned, obviously there would have been no way this could have ever happened. But basically, something happened. It was her 25th in it, so. There was talks, which obviously myself and Ashley were heavily involved in the talks about doing something as a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Basically my friends wanted to surprise her birthday.
Now, I don't know how much I want to say because it's not I don't want it to turn into a blame game. But essentially what happened at the end of the day was me and Ashley, we weren't there. And like in the scenario of what happened here, right? Temi, me and Ashley spoke to Temi, and Temi got it because of whatever.
I think that is a bit different,
and it was a different scenario to this.
No explanation and just not.
But I feel like in that scenario, because of what happened, the fallout that happened at the end of that as well, and how it was received by other people that were not Temi. I just feel like it relates to this situation, and even though I knew that what happened, like it wasn't like it wasn't my fault, or it wasn't like I didn't do something wrong. I felt terrible. Yeah. Like I literally, to this day, I still feel terrible about it. Even though on Temi's birthday, on the actual day of her birthday, I was there. One thing I tried to do with both of them, I always try to go to their houses on their birthdays because I just feel like,
even if we have something planned,
because outside this year, of that, Ashley was not there.
Anyway. Okay.
And oh my God, I wasn't even at your 25th last year because I was abroad.
So last year, similar situation. We both weren't at our 25th, but like I still felt bad because that's my sister. Like before, everybody knows in my life, Temi and Ashley is here. Sorry, my hand is here. So like, sorry, I felt
my hand.
I still, even to this day, feel terrible about it. But like in that scenario, like communication was what like. Communication was there, and what happens in a lot of these things is people will say they're coming.
They lack communication.
No, people will say they're coming.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Or people will not even. I don't know. They're just not reliable, essentially, and it's just heartbreaking.
So then, how do you move on from that to now be doing buddy like nothing happened? I can't do it.
I don't think have to talk it out. You can never do the nothing happen thing. I think you have to talk it out and have that conversation and actually be honest. And I think what the difference is not me going to you and be like, yeah, I couldn't make it to your birthday, sorry. It's actually been like, oh my days, like, I'm sorry for making you feel this type of way. I'm sorry that I didn't show up. I don't want you to think this is a reflection of how I feel about you and our friendship. Actually try to make amends. Try to be like, okay, you know what? I wasn't there.
Thank you, Benga.
Thank you so much. I wasn't there on the actual day, but can I make it up to you? Yes. Can I take you out on this day? Can I do this? Like, try and show that you're at least apologetic, because I think what a lot of people are doing is they're saying sorry, but your actions are not actually showing that you're sorry. You don't care about my birthday. You don't care to try to rectify it. You say sorry. Do you mean it? Probably not. You're only saying sorry because you know that I feel a type of way, not because you're actually sorry. Yeah.
And that's all good and well, but what's the reason? Why didn't you actually come?
Because for me, like, do you know what the craziest thing is?
No, of course. You still want the reason.
Because I accept your apology now, but what was the reason?
Again? No, why weren't you there? I agree with Tem. Do you know why? Because like in a like, for instance, what Tem said about not being at my 25th, like we spoke about it. So you could have told me. Do you get? Or like with Tem's situation, we spoke to Temi.
For me like, to have to ask you after why you didn't come, it means I don't know.
You didn't even tell me.
It's mannerless.
You didn't even tell me you were not coming. Like I thought you were coming. Or I thought you were planning something, or we'd spoken about something, and then all of a sudden,
you know, if someone told me they're coming to my birthday, a very close person, by the way, because if I was to do anything for my birthday, it would be quite. You
wouldn't just invite anybody and everybody anyway.
So if one of my close friends doesn't show up to my birthday, no explanation. If anything, I'd be more worried than anything. Maybe something happened to them.
You're thinking,
that's
where
behavior.
Imagine on your birthday, you're asking someone, "Where are you?" Like. Huh?
Oh, I'm not the type to even say where are you until you show up. If you don't show up, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the birthday girl. I shouldn't be asking people where they are. Yeah. Like, there are other people that will be there.
And that's the thing. That's why when Ashley said it's mannerless, it actually really is mannerless. For now, I should be doing problem solving on the day of my celebration,
or even think of the day after. I still haven't heard anything.
Problem solving.
I'm now having to message you. Oh, like, are you okay? What happened? And you just say, oh yeah, so I couldn't make it.
Why?
Well, do you know how impolite that is?
And that's the thing. What you guys talked about honesty. Like, I feel like people struggle to say no, because honestly, genuinely, if you're not going to be able to make something, it's better for you to say. It's actually better for you to just say.
Yes, and we're not saying circumstances don't change, plans don't change, life happens, absolutely. But just be clear as you go. Be clear as you go. If anything changes last minute, no matter how last minute it is, tell the person. Send me a message, babe. Something came up. It's so important. We can talk about it later. Have a good birthday. I'll see you soon.
What's hard about that?
That's I won't be able to make it. This is why I'm gonna take you out. Like, you.
But I hope you have a great day. Wonderful time. You deserve it. Finish. But you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Instead, you're watching my snaps.
Sometimes do you know what? From time to time, I do encourage reevaluating friendships. A lot of people are in friendships simply because they've been friends for
familiarity,
years.
History.
No. We're adults now. We've gotten to a certain age, 25 plus. You know, let's reevaluate the friendships that we have. If you genuinely feel like you struggle to show out for your friends, maybe look deep within. Maybe you don't like them anymore.
Facts.
And that's absolutely fine. You just have to make. Do you know, sometimes you find yourself, not being able to just do things for this certain friend, but you can show up for other people. Maybe you either don't like them, or maybe you're not as close as they think you are.
That's it.
Make it clear.
That is so true.
That's a great point.
Sometimes you can think you're closer than. Someone can think they're closer
than what you actually
really are, or how close you want to be with them. Maybe you don't want to be that close. Make it clear.
It's true.
And there's no.
Be honest about it. Yeah.
It's so interesting because
no harm in it.
It's just interesting because it's like somebody will even come and tell you, I'm not good at planning, but then you can plan something for your man.
Facts.
You did.
Facts.
You did.
You plan a whole birthday weekend from Friday to Monday.
The way I said it, you can plan something for your man.
From Friday to Monday,
you were just in Punta Cana with your other friends. You made it.
You had an itinerary.
You were there.
You were in Punta Cana.
You were the one saying, girls. You're the one saying, girls, I have this planned for us. Like, don't worry about anything. I have this planned.
Yeah.
But for your other friends here in London, you don't know. But you're able to find activities in another country that you've never lived in.
So that's why what Tem said is so real. You probably don't like me anymore.
And
it's okay. It's fine. It's very okay.
Just be honest. Turks and Caicos.
As in, you knew how to buy plane
You planned the whole thing.
You knew how to plan the day. You bought jet ski ticket.
You did helicopter tour.
Paragliding.
You even told your man paragliding. You told your man, just send the money, I've got it.
You even did travel agent. You didn't even book it yourself. You said please.
All inclusive.
But your friend just wanted to go to
one restaurant
on in Soho. Clapham Common, Soho. All you needed to do was have a dress on and be there.
That's it.
That's the day you caught.
Do you know
COVID.
what I'm saying? It's after work.
It's the day you caught COVID.
And it's mad because
quotation marks.
Do you know, part of being a friend, it's mad.
You guys are funny.
No, because do you know what? It's just making me think. It's like part of being a friend is being able to advocate for your friends. Like, say for instance, you're in a group of people and you can see that the plans are getting a bit skew with. People are losing the plot. You should be able to be like, no, I know my friend. Like, I know she would like this. Like, let's try and make sure reel it in. This happens. Or let's try and make it this way. Or let's try and assure this happens. Like, trying to make it work for that friend and trying to make it the best experience you can. Because as a friend, you should know your friends and you should know what they would like.
Like, friendship is just not about laughing, gossiping, giggling, all these things. There are more to friendships than that. There's certain times you have to show out for your friend. You have to do certain things for them. That's part of friendship, not just the easy part of kiki, go to your house, you eat pizza, you go home.
You eat pizza, you go home.
No, because for real, if the only thing you do with your friend is gossip, you should be wondering what's happening.
What is actually this friendship? And is it going to be long term?
Today we know how to laugh. We can send people into the GC and we're laughing. But that's it.
Guys, let's reevaluate who we call our friends, please.
No, for real.
So
that's why I'm big on if someone's an acquaintance, label them as that.
And okay, actually, before we wrap up, do you guys feel like you know the warning signs of whether this somebody is a friend that won't show out for you? Because I what just came to my mind now is like, I can see from the way my friends act about just normal stuff how they would act if it was a bigger occasion, if that makes sense.
I know what you're saying.
Like, let's say you were getting married or something. Like,
so like even just how they
behave towards.
So like even just from our normal day-to-day behaviors, how they feel about certain things. Like I'll give you an example about these two. Like anytime my birthday comes around, I get birthday blues where I want to cut everything.
She just want to shut down.
I just want to shut down. I never want to.
She's not part. Yeah,
like I'll be planning
it
months before, and then when it gets to April, I'm like, please, I'm tired. So but then they will always, like in little ways, always be like, you know, we're doing your birthday, and then that it will encourage me because like I know they actually care. Like it will be little things like that where you can tell, okay, no, if I'm gonna do something, they're gonna be there. Or it just be like, okay, are they already thoughtful as a person? Like when you're going through things, or when we actually go out as a girl group, like who's intentional about it? Like there's little behaviors you can already see in your friends that mean that when the day now comes when you're getting married or you have a kid, or like you know that they're also still going to be.
That's do you know what, I'm actually so happy you brought that up, because I would say yes. I'm not gonna lie, because even the little things such as like you brought up your birthday, like say if we're going out, or even if it's my birthday, like you both of you consistently, you'll always like come round to my house way before the time of the event starts, or whenever the restaurant is booked. Like even if you're already ready, or you'll come and get ready at mine, and then we'll go all together. So for me, that's already like foreshadowing. That already shows me that I know, like on my wedding day, you lot will probably be in the hotel with me like from the night before.
What am I doing? What do I have doing?
And then I have some friends like, and this is no shade at all. Not even shade. It's not shade whatsoever. But then I have some friends like on the day of my birthday, or just like on important days, you're there maybe a lot later than you said you'd be there. So you're not really someone who is reliable. You don't keep your word. So that already tells me that, okay, when it comes to really like monumental days, so like a wedding day or baby shower, all of these things, I might not give them the same responsibilities, or I might not put trust in them the way I would in comparison to other friends.
And that's just real. Because one thing, since Temi started driving, that car has become all of our cars.
It's our car.
If you see
like,
the
even
way,
days I don't want to come bring it to the studio, but because I know it, like how.
Yeah, because last week you did a very dirty thing. You played a very dirty game.
That's coming from what?
I'm screwed. No, but like if like be for real, like when I was actually thinking about it on Ashley's birthday, like on Saturday, like Temi, since she's had this car, like the way she's used this car to bless us, I don't think you guys understand.
Nah, literally.
You'll be getting home.
I don't think you understand. Like she'll come and pick up on my birthday. She came to the house. We put all the things for the birthday in her car,
and
that's
then
how we
wait.
transported it to the location.
Yeah, no, because how else?
Do you get it?
What would you have done?
Like this girl could really stay at home and be taking her snacks, getting ready slowly, but she says no, I'm gonna get ready earlier than I would so I can be there.
Don't get it twisted. It's not as if it's not as if I'm not a late comer as well.
She's late.
No, but your timing has improved.
But she's not late. Like what?
1 hour late.
They're saying, oh hi.
And then I'll be coming after the food. And
max, you'll be there 25 minutes or 30 minutes later.
Yeah. I even surprised myself because God knows that day was hectic. I thought I was just so happy I made it right before.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank God.
Even
now you're powerful.
Even Benga, like, sorry, I don't know. Now I'm just listening to the people in my life. Even Benga. Since Benga got that car, I don't think you guys understand how many times I was in with that guy's car. The from up down. I've got friends that they will give up their own space for my own birthday.
Literally, they're just little things that
For
people
real.
do that just emphasizes the friendship and how close you are. You know? And those are the things that you look at to judge the relationship 100%. And just how tight you are with them.
Because some people will argue that, oh no, it's not like a sign of friendship, like it just means that you know that no, I'm sorry, it's a reflection of how they actually feel about you and how they value your friendship.
100. I've got one friend as well. Yeah, I feel like I even should shout her out.
Don't anger me.
Her name is Benice. This girl, since I was a kid, she will literally go out of her way to make me feel special about anything. It could be anything. I could have just been celebrating something small. She wants to celebrate me, and like you can see that this is somebody that I can give you responsibility. You're not gonna forget. You know, there's people you give responsibility, they'll forget.
And do you know what as well? I feel like sometimes it's easy to say, oh, some people are just not like that. You know, they don't have that. Like it's not as if they don't care about you. And I can understand that to a certain extent. And we've spoken about this on the podcast before, where when you have someone, whether it be in a friendship or relationship, you have to love that person how they want to be loved, not how you think you want to love them, and vice versa. They have to do the same to you, because you could be thinking, oh, you know, you're doing your best, but to them maybe it's not reflective of that. They're not seeing it that way, and then they could interpret it as, oh, maybe this person doesn't care about me. These times you think you're doing what you can, you know. So that's why it's good to have that clear communication, and also know what your friends like and just do it for them. Like a lot of the times, a lot of people appreciate things that you don't need to spend money on. Just
it's
be
the little
there.
things.
The little things. Be there on time. You know, just show little appreciations
Making them
in
laugh,
little ways.
random things.
You know, so I understand that point of view. I've been in those situations where I'm more of the laid back type of friend. I've always been, but with these two, I know the way they want to be loved. So I'm constantly having that in my mind, like just the being on time and communicating and things like that. Like I'm trying to do it more than I would do with my other friends that they like me, where they don't really like, or they care about other things that you guys might not want. Do you know what I mean? Like
tailor your friendships to your friends.
You tailor your friendships to every individual friends in your life, and this is why I emphasize, you can't just call someone your friend if you're not willing to put in the effort. You don't have to. Just don't. That person is not your friend.
Don't put them through stress.
There's work
please.
that comes in friendships.
And
like it's a different level of a casual relationship 100%. And acquaintance. So you have to show up for it. It's the same way with our relationship with God. You know, we call ourselves Christians for a reason. We label ourselves that for a reason. You can't just say you're a Christian and you don't do the work that you need to do that Christians should do. You can't just walk into a school and sit down and start reading. You have to wear the school uniform. You have to do things to cooperate. You know,
you need to show that you're a student.
And don't feel bad about having expectations, because you know what's interesting, I sometimes feel bad for having expectations of people in general, because it's like, I don't know, when they don't meet them, you can be upset, or just in general, you just feel like, oh, maybe it's not that deep, like maybe I shouldn't have expectations. But it's like, I know,
it's just how it's.
I feel like I'm an intentional friend, and so I should have expectations of my friends.
That's it.
And it's okay. And I feel like if you voice them, and if there are things that you give as well, like I think it's perfectly fine to have expectations. I think naturally you're going to have expectations of relationships you hold highly.
That's
because
it.
Why wouldn't you? I don't know why. I feel like there's this whole trend of like, you shouldn't expect anything. You should take things as they are. Like have fun, go with the flow. I'm like, no. If I didn't have expectations in my relationships,
that's not fun.
There would be.
Sorry, what do you mean have fun? That's not fun.
You've been hell. You're not wrong for having expectations. Don't let anyone make you feel bad for having expectations. And I'm so happy you said that. Voice your expectations as well. If you require a certain something in, whether it be in friendships, relationships, whatever relationship or friendship you're doing, whether it's business, romantically, platonically, whatever it is, voice your expectations, voice what you expect. Because like I said, when you don't voice them and then it's not met, it's people kind of like, of course, that's it, that as well. And of course you have grounds to be upset, but you can't be upset at people when they're not even aware that you want them to do a certain thing.
Because that is the flip side of the argument. Like, a lot of people do not communicate what they want,
and then they get annoyed when it's not given to them. Closed mouths don't get fed.
They don't. Something has been jarring you for the last 5 years in your friendships. You've never said it. Nobody knows that
Flipping
you're
it.
sad. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Nobody gets it.
And you're getting more sad
And it's
because
not
no one knows that you're
and
sad.
it's not because they don't listen to you or they don't care about you. It's because some things you actually do need to say. Like, not everything is something you can read on a person's face. Like, sometimes you do need to open your mouth.
Yeah,
Because I hate that. But that you should know. They should know I'm upset.
No, I'm not a mind reader.
no matter
and I've
how
also got a life.
Yeah, no matter how uncomfortable it is, because some people are just not that confrontational. They don't feel like they should say certain things. But unfortunately, the older you get, the more you realize communication is key. Whatever you want from anything in this life, you have to open your mouth. It has to leave that head of yours, and you have to say, no matter how uncomfortable or however they will receive it, you just have to speak.
Yes.
You know,
If you don't ask, you don't get.
That's it. Yeah.
anyway, Jay has a new,
No, bye. I'm actually done.
We've got 10 minutes.
there's a new single out. Go listen, thanks.
Did you listen to it?
No, I haven't.
I don't think I can, you know. And the thing is, guys, if you know me before, J
Oh,
House, I'm
you
J House
love
baby.
J House.
J House
I'm
baby.
saying, first of all, why am I giving him for a promo? Second of all, I haven't listened to it. It could be devilish, please God. And thirdly, the reason why it's just an exciting buzz because obviously we haven't heard from.
Yeah,
different
it's
people.
been a while.
I probably will listen. Let's be frank.
We have to hear no.
I need to know what's going on.
We need
You're
to
not
know.
gonna
I need to hear the melody.
Yes.
You know, I need to hear what he's
what's happening in
saying.
the
I need to see, you know.
But you know, if you're talking
Shake my
about
leg a bit.
what did he used to say, Bonsam? If you're talking about the Bonsam and the Shaitan and this one and that one,
Sorry.
I
can't
be
do that
there.
one. I'm sorry.
You listen to that song once.
Did you guess? Just once, only.
It says, oh god, the lyrics are.
Is it mad?
Yeah.
See,
Is it mad?
Mega's already telling us the lyrics are something
Well, it
else.
sounds so.
Oh,
good.
Jay.
But you know the beat will be hitting
I
us.
know the melody will be
Because
It's one of them ones before you sing the lyrics, you have to cover yourself.
yeah, you guys. Do you know that some films when I go to the cinema, I pray before it starts.
Yeah,
You have to pray. Because any
protect
spiritual
yourself.
wickedness that is trying to enter me through this channel.
book.
You'll go back to your sender first of all.
Facts.
Yeah.
It will not enter.
Wherever you came from, you'll return.
It will
Them.
not enter this temple. Hallelujah.
Go.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Because the guy that sang no lie, 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 lie. Them boy.
Did you see what
pagan.
I done?
Ah.
Came in the black face.
You know, it's
Hey,
done us
the
a
white
lot.
one.
Forget, and he's back.
He's done a lot.
So we have to celebrate him. At the same time, we keep a distance.
What's his name? Mahmood.
Mamadou.
Mamadou.
Mahmood. Who's that?
She tried.
There is Mamadou.
She's getting better. I can't just get in better one time. No, Mahmood.
Jallo.
You
That's
guys
it.
looking forward to anything else coming up? Except J House. What else is coming up? Obviously, Burna Boy is in concert. Are you guys seeing him in concert?
Guys, Beyonce is happening in a few
The
weeks.
Christians are selling their tickets.
Is that why people are selling their tickets?
They're
I'm
selling
seeing-
it. So a lot of Christians
Why?
have been having,
The Christians
Why
are
did they buy
selling
it in
their
the first
tickets.
place?
because you know
I'm
how it
joking,
goes. They're
I'm joking.
fans, innit?
So why are they
But then
selling it? Oh, damn.
a lot of Christians have been having dreams, revelations,
Convictions.
about her being a bit.
Wait.
And then there's Burner as well.
There's Burner, Whiskey.
Whiskey. Wow, there's a lot. I'm not at any of these things.
I haven't bought anything.
Say I haven't got anything.
Sasha Pierre's coming back.
In August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to sponsor us,
Honestly, if you
Take us.
want to bless us, just DM us
I'm
and let
not
us
going
know.
to Beyonce. No matter how much you pay me, boss. Anybody else?
Yeah,
You can catch me.
Wizkid.
I don't mind. O2. Thank you. God bless
Nah,
you.
don't mind.
Guys, I have a good feeling about summer.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but someone.
Amen.
It's gonna be a good time. The
23rd of
level,
July.
baby.
Summer skylight.
Summer is yours.
Facts.
Nah, it's popping this summer.
Subscription for real, the label.
Yeah.
Like,
Nah.
don't be a silly boy.
Don't
Be a
do.
silly girl. Yeah. And thank you for sitting down with the sisters.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Honestly,
Hope you enjoyed it.
we love you
we
guys.
love you.
Yeah, we'll see you on our next episode.
Eddie, thank you so much.
We'll see you on the
See you
next
next
one.
week.
Bye.